Yep. Once again, very good morning and thanks for joining. As I told you, I will just take only 1 hour session today. Okay. So today we are having a prod deployment at which will start at 10:30 our IST time. Okay. I'm having only 40 to 45 minutes of time. We'll spend a decent amount of time. Good information we'll learn today, which which will help us a lot in the upcoming sessions, whatever we are going to discuss. So yesterday we discussed about the background process and we discussed about physical files, a little about physical files, not that much deeper we discussed, and we discussed about we downloaded the Postgres setup file for the Windows platform, and we install EDB PostgreSQL SQL database engine. We downloaded, and yesterday we tried to access this one using PC admin 4. Okay, and we just walk through what are the components are available in the stack builder. Okay, when we compare with the other technologies, installation is much easier in terms of Postgres. Very easier, very lightweight tool. I know you already realized yesterday. It's very lightweight, just downloading the software and click on. You need to specify the where the binary files need to be go, where the cluster directory need to be placed. Only two things you need to take care. Rest everything you will get the default. So uh, again, we'll talk more on the installation in the upcoming classes when we are going for Linux platform. Okay. So because mainly we are concentrating on the Linux, whole this training. Okay. We'll talk more on the Linux so that we will become strong on the Linux platform. The Windows, obviously, see again, engine is a engine, sir. Wherever you are installing, either you are installing in the Linux or you are installing in the Windows. Okay, you are installing a product, that's it, and you are accessing the product, you are using the product. If you know how to use the product, if you know how to access the product, we are good. So that's what yesterday we discussed. Do you have any questions before we move into the two concepts? Only we'll discuss lightweight two concepts today. We won't go for much concept, only two concepts, but these are very important concepts which will help us a lot to drive entire our Postgres training, sir. Yep. Any questions before we start yesterday? So we are keeping public sessions, sir. So mostly today session also will go for public. Tomorrow also will go for public. From Monday we'll go for the private session, sir. We'll take your URLs, sorry, your Gmail, your accounts, email accounts, and we'll grant the permission. Okay, everyone. Yes. No.
Fine.
Sorry.
Yesterday's installation are completed, sir.
Oh, that's it. Installation. Apart from nothing else, sir, for Postgres. Okay. Again, I will come back. So Linux part, we are having Linux part, right? Linux part, we need to discuss more, sir. Windows, that's it. It won't take just.
Yesterday, what you installed, sir? Actually, I'm not there.
EDB PostgreSQL server, right? We install. We install EDB Postgres engine. We install yesterday. 15th version we install. This is our binary file location, and this is our cluster location. Just you need to provide the binary file location, and just you need to provide the cluster location. It will install the products. Questions? Any questions? Anyone? No? Yes?
So far good, Subbu.
Okay, great. No, sir. Okay. See, basically every database administrators, okay, every database administrator, we should know about how to use the softwares basically. Okay, whatever the products you are learning, it can be Oracle, SQL, Postgres, MariaDB, whatever the engines you are learning. First, as a database administrator, we should know how to download the software, how to install the software. Okay, these are the two components which are mandatory. Now, basically, if you go for completely SQL, completely Postgres, sorry, sir. So if you go for completely Postgres, so we know how to download the Postgres engine. We know how to install the Postgres engine on Windows. We know Windows, sir. We haven't discussed anything on Linux. Okay. Tomorrow we'll start the Linux platform, right? So we'll go for the Linux installation. You will understand how to install the operating system, and on top of that, how to install the Postgres in the Linux platform. So we'll discuss how many types we can install the Postgres engine in Linux platform. Okay. Now we should know how to create a cluster. Yesterday in build it created a cluster. When you are installing the product, it will create a cluster. But we must and should know how to create a cluster. Okay. In case we don't want to use that cluster, we wanted to use a separate cluster. How to create our own cluster? We must and should know how to create a cluster. We must and should know how to start a cluster. Okay. We must and should know how to connect to the cluster. Okay, and how to create the databases and how to use the objects, like how to create objects like tables, views, indexes, store buzzer, functions, triggers, all that stuff. This especially will be developers will taken care. This everything will be taken care by the DBAs. Okay, granting the permission, taking the backups, restores, all the stuff. DBAs will take the responsibility. Yesterday, what we done, sir, we download the product and we install the product. In build, it created a cluster also. See, in build, it created a cluster. This is our cluster directory. Okay, in build, it created a cluster. And yesterday, we tried to connect to the cluster also using PCadmin 4. And we just, nothing we done. We just passed the connection string. We just passed the local host. We just passed the port number. We just passed the database name and password, and we connected to the cluster. We connect to the instance. We connect to the instance. Yesterday, that is what we done, sir. So far yesterday, just we install the product and we access the product. Apart from nothing else yesterday, we perform any additional activity. Now today, what we are going to do is, now yesterday, that's what we went to the PostgreSQL.org. Then we went to the download and we clicked on the download the installer, which is downloaded the Enterprise DB Postgres, and we went to the 15 version and we downloaded the product. We downloaded the product. Now, okay, once we install, but as a DBA, what we want to do is, what is clustered, Subbu? Yesterday you told that this directories, this data directory we are calling as a cluster. See, this is our just installation, sir. This is our binary files. Every product will contains the binary files. When you install any product, especially you will find in the C drive. If you go to the program files, you will find all the binary files here. Okay, in terms of binary files, you will see all the binary files. Now, whenever I'm installing Postgres, I selected wantedly D drive. That's the reason you are able to see the D drive. Okay, otherwise you could see the C drive only. So under this D drive, under the 15, you find all the Postgres related binary files, all the binary files. Here, the one of the directory is very important is data. This data directory contains the cluster. This is our instance, sir. So this is our instance, one instance. Okay, this is our instance. This is our set of file. This is our engine. This is our instance. One instance. This is one instance. So first you should understand what is cluster. Okay, as a database administrator, we should understand what is cluster. Especially here, the people who are from SQL background definitely will get confused. Whatever we learn on the SQL, what we learn, cluster is nothing but group of servers. Okay, but here complete the idea has been changed, sir. Cluster is nothing but one instance. Okay, here a cluster is nothing but one instance. Technically, you can call it as a single Postgres server. A single Postgres server or instance can contain multiple database. See, here you will build a cluster first. You will build a cluster. This cluster can hold multiple databases like a DB1, DB2, DB3, DB4, DB5. Okay, so one cluster can maintain multiple databases. One cluster can maintain multiple databases. So in general, cluster is nothing but group of servers. But coming to Postgres, Cluster is nothing but one instance, sir. One instance which is maintaining multiple databases. Now you will ask one question. Subbu, can I make this database to offline? No. You can't make this database to offline, sir. Okay, you can stop users to access this database. Means you can stop the connections, but you can't make this database to offline. You can't make this database to offline. But when you go to the SQL, once you install the SQL Server instance, you can make every database to offline, bring the database offline, online. You can do all the stuff. But coming to Postgres, no sir, you can't make any database to offline, because this you can make entire cluster to offline. Okay, but you can't make individual database to offline in the Postgres. Please keep that in mind. You can't make database to offline, but you can stop the connectivity. Means you can restrict all the users who are trying to access this database, so that no users can access this database. No users can access this database. So keep that in mind. Cluster is nothing but one instance which contains collection of databases. Okay, databases. Not only databases, so it contains the configuration files, multiple directories. Okay, many things are here. See, a server can maintain multiple Postgres instances running on the different port number. So nothing, sir. For example, this is one instance. Subbu, this is one instance. You are telling that data directory is one instance which contains all these directories and all these configuration files, everything. Now I can create one more folder. Okay, like for example, 2.1. Okay, so I can install one more instance in this folder also. Okay, I can create one more folder. I can install one more instance. So you can maintain multiple instances in single server, but make sure that each instance need to run different port number. Each instance need to run different port number, because via port number only Microsoft is identifying to which cluster I need to authenticate. Which cluster you need to authenticate. So port is playing major roles. Within single server, if you are going to create multiple clusters, okay, then each cluster need to listen with the different port numbers. Each cluster need to listen with the different port numbers. So you can create multiple instance under single server. Means you can build multiple cluster under single server. Is it got it, everyone?
Yes,
No?
sir.
Yes?
Yes, Subbu.
Getting my point? So here cluster is nothing but one instance. Don't get confused. A cluster is nothing but one instance here. Technically one instance. Under that instance, you can maintain multiple databases. You can maintain multiple databases. Can I create multiple instance? Yes, you can create the multiple instance. So how I can create a multiple instance? First, you need to create a directory. Under the directory, you need to build the cluster. Under the directory, you need to build the cluster. You no need to install nothing, sir. Okay. In terms of SQL, if I wanted to install one more instance, what you will do? Again, you will open the setup file, click on next, click on next, click on next. Oh my God. You need to follow the multiple steps, right? Yes?
Yes,
Agree,
sir.
not agree?
Yeah.
No. Here,
Agree.
nothing, sir. A single command can build the cluster for you. A single command can build the cluster for you, especially can build the cluster for you. So it's very easy, sir, here when you go for Postgres. So cluster is nothing but a instance. Under that instance, you can maintain multiple databases. Under that instance, you can maintain multiple databases. See, each database can have multiple application schemas like tables, views, stored buzzer, functions. See, a database is a database, sir. If you go for any database management system, database is a database only. Like, oh, okay, if I take the Postgres, if I take the SQL, if I take the Mongo, if I take the Oracle. So what you will do in the database, sir, you will create the tables, views, stored buzzer, functions, triggers, materialized views, sequences. So cursors. So whatever you will do in the Oracle, whatever you do in the SQL, Postgres also can do same thing. So database contains multiple schemas which are mapping to multiple applications. Each schema can contain multiple tables, indexes, views, etc., etc. So cluster is nothing but a group of databases which are working as a unit, and each cluster should have maintained a unique port number. Okay, Subbu, for example, I'm having two servers. Okay, in this server, I'm building one cluster. Okay, Postgres cluster. In this server, I'm going to build one more cluster. Okay, will I can use the same port number for these two clusters? Yes, because both are in two different servers, right? Both are in two different hosts, right? You can maintain the common port number. 5432 is the default port number of the Postgres. Okay, for Postgres, 5432 is the default port number. You can use the 5432 port number here. You can use the 54 port number here also. When you are going to build the multiple clusters in single VM, single host, then each cluster need to run with the different port number. Otherwise, you can't spin the cluster. Means you can't start the cluster. Got it, everyone? No? Yes?
Yes, Subbu, got it. Got it. Subbu,
Just a
one
question,
thing-
Subbu.
Yes. Yeah.
How many clusters can one server have?
You can
So in SQL-
you can create n number of clusters, sir. I told you, right? Postgres is very lightweight tool. You can create n number of directories until you are having space.
Oh, so it's not like a limited one. Remember, SQL you can do 49 named and one.
See,
Okay.
it's not like a limitation. Maybe ports, you are having a port limitation, right? Definitely there is a limitation under the port. See, like 5999 port, there is a limitation under the port, right? Until the port limitation you can create, sir, but you need to verify the storage, you need to verify the resources. See, simply we won't create that many clusters in single VM, right? Unnecessarily. But nothing, sir, nothing like SQL, like this many instance, all the stuff. You can create multiple clusters here because it's a very lightweight tool. A limitation I haven't especially look into that much limitations. There is nothing. No. Yeah, got it, everyone?
At a time, how many cluster we can run?
Sir, again, I'm saying to everyone, okay? See, how many clusters you will build, sir? Let me ask you in the real world. So I don't want thing in your laptop, sir. I don't want thing in your laptop. How many clusters you will build in one VM? Only one cluster, right?
Yeah.
Agree? That's it. That's it, sir. No worries. Okay. So you can spin. I am showing 1, 2, 3. 3 clusters are running. 4 clusters are running. 5 clusters are running. 6 clusters are running. See, to run the Postgres, you don't need much memory, sir. I told you, right? 128 KB is fine. Okay. If you're having 128 KB, your Postgres engine can run. It's a very lightweight tool. It's not like a much complex database engine. It's a very lightweight. Okay, you won't spin more clusters. Don't get too many questions on that part. You can build multiple clusters. That's it. Okay, and there is a limitation in the port. Definitely, see, in the Postgres, first we need to create a cluster. Okay, once you install the engine, once you install the Postgres engine, you need to first create a cluster. Cluster is nothing but an instance. Okay, so before I start the cluster, make sure that I need to maintain the unique port number within the same server. Different server, same port number is fine, sir. But within the same server, unique port number. Every cluster need to run with a unique port number. And definitely your port is like greater than 10242, less than 64,000. Ports will go. So how many ports you are having, that many clusters you can build. So will you build this many clusters in one VM? No, sir. Okay, maximum one VM, one cluster. Maximum will be like how we are going to use in other database management system. Here also we'll do same thing. So first, make sure that you need to build the cluster. before I go and start the cluster, make sure that I need to maintain the unique port number. Okay. Then where I can change this port number, sir, PostgreSQL.config file. This is the more powerful a config file where I can go and verify what port your Postgres engine is listening. If I wanted to change, I can go and change the port in the PostgreSQL.config file. Okay. So once you change the port number, then you can start the cluster. So we will start the cluster. Once we start the cluster, you can connect to the cluster with help of pgadmin4, with help of pSQL. pgadmin4, pSQL, you can use any utility to access the cluster. Once connect the cluster, you can create a number of databases. And make sure that this is very important. We cannot start or stop individual database in cluster. Okay, this is something new for the SQL. Okay, the people who are coming from SQL background. Okay, this is something different, sir. Okay, this is something different. You can't start, you can't stop a single database. Either you need to go for entire cluster only. Okay, but many people will get confused. When I go for SQL, I can stop a single database, right, Subbu? SQL is separate platform. Postgres is separate platform, sir. Okay, is it clear, everyone? First 3 points clear, and this is little powerful important. Okay, first you need to form a cluster, then you need to validate the port, then you can start the cluster, then you can create a number of databases. You can't stop, you can't start the single database like other database technologies, and each cluster having a default database called Postgres. Okay, by default, you will get the database called Postgres database when you form a cluster. When you form a cluster, by default, you will get a database called Postgres database. Sir, every database is independent here. Okay, independent here. So Postgres, along with the Postgres, you will get 2 more databases. One is template 1, one is template 0, means template 0, template 1. So total 3 databases you will get it. They are not doing anything, sir, but 3 databases you will get it when you build a cluster. When you form a cluster, by default, you will get 3 databases. Postgres, one database, and template 0, template 1. Both are hidden databases. Both are hidden databases. 2 databases, hidden databases. 1 database is a visible database. Is anything is doing this database? Nothing, sir. Like don't compare with SQL. Just Postgres is providing a 3 databases, 2 databases a hidden database, 1 database is a visible database where you are having super user access. And with the Postgres login, by default you are getting the Postgres login. By default you are getting the Postgres database. When you form any cluster, along with you will get the 2 table space. So this is something unique for the SQL background people. Table space. There is a concept called table space. Oracle people can understand the table space. Okay. So you will get by default two table space. One is a PZ underscore default. One is PZ underscore global. What is a default table space? We should understand more, sir, because where your data is storing. See, when you go to the cluster, okay, you are having base, you are having global. This is the 2 default table space you are getting physically. Physically, you are getting this 2 table space. Whenever you go here, you will see the directories, you will see the files. And the files are like FSM, VM, FSM. So you are having different files. So we'll walk through all the folders, such as everything, once we start accessing the engine, sir. So these are the 2 table space. Physically, you will see whenever you create any database, whenever you create any table, whenever you do anything, your data will be stored in these folders only. Okay, in this folders your data is storing in the background. Here your data is storing. You can create your own table space also. You can create your own table space. Okay, you can create your own table space and you can load your data into that table space. Like you can create your own table space and you can load your data. What do you mean by table space? All this you are having questions, sir, we'll discuss in the going forward sessions. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, Subbu. Can I ask question or can I later ask?
Yes. What, sir?
So
Hello,
we
Subbu.
have default port 5432 so
Yes.
at the time of installation. But I
Yes.
want to the security purpose, I need to change port 5433. For example, one cluster I have created one port 5432 or 33, and other cluster I want to create 5435. Can we communicate both for the just like a SQL, we have multiple database, they can be select data, input data, other thing can be do. Same we can do here, two different cluster.
Sir, no, your question is something merging. What you want to do? You need to change the port, right?
Yeah, we need to change. Suppose at the time
Where
installation,
you
I
will
have changed the port.
where you will change the port in the PostgreSQL.config file. See,
Yes,
while you are
PostgreSQL.
installing, you can change the port number, or you can change later also. Go to the PostgreSQL.config file and you can change the port number. That is the first
Yes,
question.
Subbu.
Okay. What is
Yes.
next question?
Next question, Subbu. I have one more cluster will be creating, and that cluster different port. Okay, and both cluster can be communicate vice versa each other.
No, sir. Both are independent, right? In SQL
Okay,
also
both are
independent, right? Both instances are independent, right? Both clusters are nothing but two different instances, sir. Both instances are
two.
independent, right?
Okay, but
Simple.
in SQL,
How, sir? In
SQL
SQL,
two
how?
we
Without
creating
linker,
the links,
then
link server
you will
or
you will
link server concept.
yeah, you will create the linker server, sir. You thought linker server,
yes.
no, both are two different instances. Okay, don't confuse lot. Okay, we'll talk high level. Okay,
So not.
yeah. So
And
if you
suppose
want,
ideally we Postgres port we need to the default port running or we change because security purpose or everyone know the default port. So hacker will be and now the default port. So they will try to so we generally make a different port at the time of cluster formation or later we change the
sir,
port
I
from.
literally I can say, and I worked like almost 60 to 70 clients. Okay,
Okay.
because I worked many shared clients. Okay, one project contains total 40 clients I maintain. So I went for 1433 port number for SQL. 40 clients I maintain only is one port number 1433. So that is up to us, sir. Okay, whether I need to go for say default port number or I need to go for a different port number. When you are interacting with your application team, okay, so you will tell all the best practices. Okay, you will tell all the best practices. See,
Okay.
designing is something different, sir. Here, what is the best practice means don't go for default port number. That is a common best practice for entire our database engines, not only for Postgres. It is common. We should not go for the
Okay.
default port numbers in terms of always on, in terms of SQL. Let's go for unique port number, different port numbers, which will secure our authentications. Okay. So like say either it is common, sir. Again, it's a database only. It's not a something where we are learning. It's a database, but it's different platform. Yeah, someone is asking.
Suppose you
PostgreSQL.conf is
said
that
yeah.
PostgreSQL.conf that
One by one, sir. One by one. Sorry.
yeah. That PostgreSQL.conf file is managing only cluster ports, correct?
No, sir. 2 days we are spending on this file, sir. This is one of the most powerful. This is the one of the more powerful config file you must and should know. You must and should know, sir. If you are good at here, you can crack interview easily. Many questions comes from here only. Not only port, sir. Not only port. Okay. See, not only port. See, not only port. Not only connections. There are a lot.
Okay. So
See,
each database different config file or it belongs to cluster?
no, entire cluster, sir. Entire cluster that this is for entire cluster level, sir.
Okay.
Under this cluster, you are just keeping the databases. Okay. This is one instance. You are keeping your databases under as part of this instance. So whatever the change you are making, it will affect entire your cluster, It can be PostgreSQL.config file. It can be hp.config file. It can be pz underscore hp.config file, pz underscore identifier.config file. Whatever you change this config file, 3 config file, it will affect entire cluster. Database is a database. Under that instance, you are keeping a database, sir. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Yeah,
One more
Subbu,
question. Yes, sir.
you said each database is an independent data. So in that case, cross queries won't work, or what it is?
Oh, you mean to say if I wanted to pull the data from one database to another database?
Another, yes, cross queries.
Yeah, it will work, sir. Yeah.
Okay, that's only.
We'll see, sir. Okay, once we go into the cluster, okay, once we move into the connectivity, then we'll learn. Because these are all very important. I don't want directly go to the installation and tell that, hey, our Postgres installation is done. Okay, let's start the here and there. Okay, some concept is you need to first build a strong platform. What you understand so far? Okay, first I need to install the product. While once I install the product, I need to form the cluster. Once I form the cluster, I need to take care of the port first. Okay, and of course, authentication is also very important, sir. We'll talk authentication separately. Once we form the once we change the port number, okay, then we need to start the cluster. Make sure that cluster need to be started. If you're not starting the cluster, you can't connect, sir. Okay, if you're not starting the cluster, you can't connect. So how to start the cluster, how to form the cluster, how to form our own cluster, how to start our own cluster, that is what first we wanted to learn. Okay, this all concepts, so I'm talking on the Windows platform so that you can easily understand. Then we'll go for move on the Linux platform, sir. For Monday, we'll completely sit on the Linux platform. Tomorrow also we'll sit on the Windows only. Yep, good everyone. Now, so far good, right everyone? Yeah. Now, what Postgres people done means they came up with lot of utilities, sir. They came up with a lot of utilities like Initdb, pz underscore psql, pz underscore ctl, okay, pz underscore dump all. So we got lot of utilities. When you go to the bin folder, okay, so you are find a lot of utilities which are running in the background. Okay, pz underscore config, pz underscore ctl, pz underscore dump all, pz underscore isolation underscore regress, pz underscore is ready. See, you are finding lots of utilities here. Okay, lots of utilities to fulfill our day-to-day work, which need to be run very smoothly, sir. So what Microsoft and see, Initdb is also one utility. pz underscore ctl also one utility. CreateDB is also one utility. So my Postgres people provided a lot of utilities. Out of that, the first utility we must and should know is Initdb. Okay, first we must and should know is Initdb, sir. So out of this all utilities, these many utilities, okay, Postgres is offering. Out of this, we must and should know about Initdb utility. Okay, what exactly it is doing means, if you use Initdb, it will form a cluster for us. Okay, what it is doing? It is creating a cluster. It is creating a cluster. Using Initdb, you can form a cluster. Once you install the engine, next I need to create a cluster, right? Okay, if I wanted to create a cluster, you need to use Initdb utility. Via Initdb utility, you can create the new cluster. So if you wanted to create a cluster, first you need to create a folder. Okay, first if you wanted to create a cluster, where I need to create a form a cluster. See, where I need to create a cluster, sir, that is very important. So where I need to create a cluster? Under this server, where I need to create a cluster. So for that, what we are going to do, we are going to create a folder, and under this folder, we are going to build the cluster. Under this folder, we are going to build the cluster. So first you need to create a folder and pass the input for Initdb in -d. So these are case sensitive, sir. Please be remember when you are using any utilities. Okay, not only Initdb, pg_ctl, pg_dump, pg_dump all, pg_revert. There are a lot of utilities where Postgres people are providing, right? So when you are going to use these utilities, please make sure that this whatever the parameters you are passing, all the parameters are case sensitive. So for Initdb, you need to pass -d, D for directory. Okay, and you need to pass the U, U also capital letter, sir. Okay, capital letter. U as a capital letter. So Initdb space -d space, where is your location? Where is your location? That location space and -u space username. So as I told you, right, by default you will have the Postgres. So we can create the Postgres. If you don't want Postgres, you can create your own user also. Whatever the username you are specifying here, whatever the login you are specifying here, that login by default you will get the super user access. By default you will get the super user access. And if you wanted to provide the password, you can provide the password. Later on also you can provide the password, sir. Got it, everyone? So using Initdb utility, you will form a cluster. Using Initdb, you can form a cluster. Can we go and create a cluster? Can we form a cluster, sir, our own cluster? We don't want the existing cluster. We want to form our own cluster.
Yes, Subbu.
Yeah.
We can.
Now see. Now if I open CMD. Okay. Open CMD. Okay. Run as administrator. Okay. Now Initdb -d. What was my path? So this is my path where I need to form the cluster. Okay, I need to form the cluster and -u and username Postgres. For example, I'm going for username as a Postgres only. If I'm forming a cluster, I'm using Postgres.
Sir, -u, what is
User, sir, means login.
Subbu, this is the default login Postgre, na?
Sorry?
This -u Postgre, this is the default login, na? Or
Default
create
login,
our
yes.
own login.
You can
We
provide,
can provide.
you can provide your own login, sir. You can provide your own login, but this is the default login I'm just choosing. Okay. Now,
Okay.
if I click enter, okay, see, Initdb is not recognized as an internal or external command. This is the common error you will get it if you simply open CMD with administrator and if you run this command. Okay, first thing what you need to do, you need to point to the installation where you install the product. Here the Initdb is there, right? Okay, you need to go to the first bin directory. Okay, you need to go to the bin directory cd and you need to go to the first bin directory. Okay, hey, what happened? Okay,
CD caps.
No need caps, right? Nothing. Hey, where it is my mouse? I can directly go for D. Yeah. Okay, now I'm in the D drive, D Postgres 15 bin. Okay, now if I am running the same command, initdb -d, and I'm passing the location of my cluster and I'm passing the username. Now see, it is forming the cluster for us. See, it is forming the cluster for us. Now, if you go to the folder clue1, you will find the same directories. Everyone able to see how to create a cluster? How to create a cluster, sir? Your own cluster? First,
Yes, Subbu.
you need to create a folder. You need to create a directory. where you want to store your cluster, and you need to use the utility called Initdb, but you need to go to the bin folder wherever you install the product. You need to go to that bin folder. Subbu, every time I need to go to this bin folder only, Subbu. No, sir. Okay. What you can do, you can set the environment variables, right? Agree, not agree? You can set, tomorrow I will show you how to set the environment variables, all the stuff, sir. Tomorrow I will show you. Now, this is how you can create a cluster. I can create one more cluster if I want. Okay. You can create n number of clusters. Means you can install n number of instances under one host. Under one host, you can install n number of hosts, n number of instances. This is my single laptop. Under this laptop, I'm installing multiple clusters. So now I'm having 3 clusters. Under clue1 folder, I'm having 1 cluster. Under clue2, I'm having 1 cluster. Under Postgres 15 data, I'm having 1 more cluster. So total 3 clusters are running in my VM. In my laptop, total 3 clusters are running. So easy, right?
So
yes or no? Everyone? Hello. Yes.
Yeah, while you created this cluster through Initdb, right? Database is created and running, right?
No, sir. You need to start the cluster, right? Once you create the cluster, what is the next step? You need to start the cluster, right?
Okay.
See, there is a sequence order. You need to follow the sequence order, sir.
Okay. But yeah, one more question. That yesterday you created install software, right? Internally, it's created a cluster, right?
Cluster, yes. This is our main directory, sir. Installation binary files directory. And yesterday it created a cluster within the same. You can change this one.
Okay.
Okay. I can do one more thing, sir. I don't need to use, sir, Subbu, I no need to use the Initdb. Okay. I no need to use the Initdb also. What I can do? Copy this one whole. Okay. Go to C3, paste it. That's it. This is one more instance. You no need to use Initdb also.
When you do that,
sorry?
I was saying that when you do that, isn't it gonna have the same port?
See, sir, I am focusing only on cluster. See, first
yeah,
you
no,
need
I'm saying,
to one second,
so
one second, Adam. No, one second, Adam. I will clarify all that. See, now I am explaining only how to form a cluster. Okay, either you can use Initdb and form a cluster, or you already having existing cluster, you can copy whole thing and you can paste somewhere, and you got one more cluster. You got one more cluster. Getting my point?
Yes.
Yes. Later on, what you need to do is ports. See, first form the cluster. Next is ports are very important, sir. Next thing you will focus on port. Okay. Next thing only you will focus on port, not while you are forming the clusters. While you are forming the cluster, no need to think about port, all the stuff. First form the cluster. Next focus on the ports. Got it? No? Yes? Understandable. See how easy you can build multiple instances. How easy you can build multiple instances.
Yes, well, I get that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, second, first part is done. How you are going to build a form the cluster, sir?
There are 2 ways. One is the copy
No,
paste.
one way.
Second way, Initdb.
Tell one way. No, only one way, sir. Initdb. See,
Initdb.
That is a best practice we'll do. Okay. That is a simple shortcut I shown you. That's not at all best practice. Sorry. Okay. I'm just that is that much easy, sir. Postgres. Okay. So now you created a cluster.
I have a question, Sibu. Sorry,
yes.
Sorry to take you back.
Oh, no worries.
So the confusion for me is mainly the best practices when you're installing Postgre in terms of disk management and how you're going to structure your disks.
We'll talk,
in SQL
sir. We'll talk. Okay, we'll talk about. See, Especially in SQL, you will get MDF, LDF concept. Okay, NDF concept. Okay, so here also you can follow the best practice by creating the table space. You can create your own table space in a different location, and you can move some of the data into that table space. Okay, here the concept come into the form of table space, Adam. Okay, when I'm going to take a separate session on table space, I will talk more about the best practices only. So what is the table space? What you can do with this table space? How to create your own table space? How to move your existing data to the table space? How, when you are creating an object, how you can tell you need to go to that table space? Okay, we'll talk all the stuff when we are talking about the table space. So that's what. If you come to best practice, this is very important. What is PostgreSQL.config file? Here the actual concepts, hp.config file, and your base table space, default table space, and what you are creating the table space. Much more yet to discuss. Okay, I'm not discussing straight away here because this is the new tool, right? Everyone will having lot of confusion. We don't want to make that much confusion. So first, what you done, you install the engine. Next, what you done, you need to form the cluster. Once you form the cluster, next what you need to do, make sure that you need to port need to be. So once you form the cluster, what are the things you will see, sir? These are all the directories. Okay, base directory, piece underscore x log, table space, c log, log, logical, serial, notify, REPL slot. You are finding multiple directories. Not only directories, you are getting config files. Okay, so PostgreSQL.config file, hp.config file, id.config file, and you are also find the pc underscore version. Okay, not only directories, it is also creating the config file. Every cluster having its own directory structure. Okay, directory structure and having own config files. Under base is a default table space, right? Here you will create the databases. When you create the database, your database will be in the always your objects, your database will be in the numeric only. Okay, there is no names it will display. This is the biggest to confuse you people, especially SQL, Oracle people. What the confuse means, whenever you open here, you will see the numeric values only. You won't see the names. Nowhere it will display the names. So this is a table. This is a table, sir. These are all the tables. This is your database. This is your database. These are all the tables, predefined tables, catalog tables. Like in SQL, we are having sys dot databases, sys dot master file, sys dot login, sys dot right. Like same in the Postgres also, pc underscore class, pc underscore database, pc underscore table. So we are having catalogs. These are all the catalogs, predefined catalogs. Nothing but these are all tables. In the tables, you are having the data. So this is the only one confuse definitely you are having in your mind. Oh, you won't see any database name. You won't see any database name. Everything will be in the numeric values. Then how I can suppose you need to go to the connect to the Postgres. Then you need to read the catalog tables. Unless you read the catalog tables, you can't understand what this database is.
Can we change the database names,
No.
numeric number?
No, sir. This is the inbuilt behavior. You should not touch anything inbuilt behaviors.
So, hello. So,
Yes.
yesterday you installed the software. Internally,
Yeah.
it's created the cluster, correct?
Yes. Yes.
And when we start the cluster, databases, 3 databases, Postgres, step 1, then 0, like started, right?
Yes.
So, suppose I want to only install the software and I want to create our own cluster, right? So, can you do that as per
Sir,
you yesterday that did?
see. Can you change the behavior of the installation, sir? No, right?
Okay, okay,
No, right?
okay.
Either
Got it.
you are creating the cluster, either while installing it is creating cluster. Both are same only, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You can
So,
change the locations or wherever you want, you can keep it. It is asking to prompt you where I need to form the cluster. You can change the directory, right? Wherever you want, you can keep it.
okay. So,
Yeah.
the memory structures like shared buffers, right? Suppose we have 128 MB. So all the database within a cluster. So 128 MB of like Postgres, temp1, temp0. All database have same size of shared memory, right? Like
See,
shared buffers.
entire instance, it is a shared memory, right? Shared buffer, right? Not for specific database, right?
Okay, okay,
Nowhere it's for database, right? Even SQL is also no. Entire instance, you will have the data cache.
okay. Got
Here
it,
also
got
in
it.
the entire cluster, you are having the shared buffer, right?
Means 128 MB is allocated for entire database, like whatever database, Postgres, temp1, temp0, all three database
No.
using.
Entire
It's
cluster.
entire cluster, Vinayak.
Okay, I got it,
Entire
got it.
cluster. It's not for
Got
specific database.
Okay,
Okay,
got it.
1 minute left. 1 minute left. Any questions? Tomorrow I will
Subbu,
continue,
is there
sir.
any way?
Sir,
Subbu,
sir, I
is
have
there
a
any
question,
way?
sir.
Yeah,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Sir, Windows installation completed, sir.
Oh yeah, completed. That's certainly nothing much. Okay.
Sir, actually, yesterday I'm not there, sir. So that's what I'm
Okay,
asking.
you can watch it. Okay, it's very easy, sir. It's just only 10 minutes installation. Nothing much.
Sir,
Linux will
cluster
take
also yesterday, cluster also created, sir.
yes. When you are installing a product, it will form the clusters are inbuilt. Okay, now you can create your own cluster. I told you, right? It's just a single command. It's just a single command. It will form the cluster. Or you can copy and paste it as it is create a cluster.
Initdb, right, sir?
Initdb using Initdb utility, you will form a cluster, sir.
Okay.
Subbu, is there any way to read everything table or database the form the numeric 1, 2, 3 or table
Yes,
also
you
the
can read.
form of the
You can read everything, sir. You can read actual database name. You can read actual table name. Once you connect to the Postgres engine, you need to connect to the instance. You are having predefined catalogs. You need to read the predefined catalogs. You will get the complete information, sir. But
catalog
when
just
you
like a system view or system
yes
tables.
yes
Just it's like a SQL, we have a DMB or other things. That's
yeah
same way
right
in the catalog.
same way
Okay.
yeah like a
Can we
PZ
see
underscore database, PZ underscore relational, PZ underscore relational size, PZ underscore size underscore pretty. There are a lot of catalogs, sir. If you run the catalog, you will get complete information. You will get the numeric information. You will get the actual database information, name information.
usually we can check service.msc whether services are running or not? Can we see Postgres also
Yes,
can be?
yes.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I will walk through, sir. I got the services.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is a service, sir. Yeah, Postgres service.
Okay. Okay. Do we have any kind of agent kind of services here?
Agent we need to download, sir. Actually, agent inbuilt we won't get. You need to download the agent.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Okay. Okay. I will take questions tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow also I will walk through Windows only. Okay. I will take many questions because tomorrow is a Saturday, right? I will spend more time on yours, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Subbu.
Thank
Thank
you.
Nice
you.
session.
Yeah. See you tomorrow, sir.
Bye.
Yeah.